Just breaks my heart because this accident could have been prevented.
Safety expert Brandon Glenn was on scene Monday afternoon when first responders frantically tried to save a construction worker trapped in a trench in Goodyear.
The problem was, as they pulled dirt out, more dirt was collapsing in, which really made this rescue almost impossible.
Glenn used to be a Phoenix firefighter and currently is the president of Safe First Corporation. The safety consulting business specializes in the construction industry, and one of his clients was on another job site nearby when a man employed by a different company got stuck about 6 feet underground.
And my clients just happened to be working, maybe less than a quarter mile, and they were one of the first responding people to try to help and extricate the trapped construction worker.
Within 30 minutes, it went from a rescue to a recovery operation. Officials identified the victim as 44-year-old Ronald Baquera. Baquera's body was retrieved around 2 this morning, more than 12 hours after 911 was first called.
No one goes to work expecting not to come home that night.
Glenn doesn't know exactly what went wrong, but he says it could have been prevented with proper training and equipment.
I'm assuming, based upon the history of having trench collapses in Arizona, that there was no proper shoring in place to protect that situation from happening.
He explains to avoid trench collapses, shoring is not only necessary, it's a life-saving standard required by the Occupational Safety and Health Administration.
There could be a big shield box, which is a huge metal box, and it just prevents the earth from collapsing. And then there's hydraulic shoring, which is adding pressure, pushing against the earth when the trench is open to ensure that the guys are safely able to access it without having the risk of collapse.
And while we don't yet know what safety precautions were in place during the accident, the Arizona Division of Occupational Safety and Health and Goodyear Police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the worker's death. Another thing that made the rescue so difficult is that crews were concerned about hitting utility lines while they tried to dig him out. Live in studio, Michaela Marshall for Arizona's Family.
An absolutely heartbreaking story altogether.